Ladies and gentlemen, the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by HelloFresh. Quick, easy meals. HelloFresh is here to make your hectic fall weekends a little easier. Get HelloFresh today. Go to HelloFresh.com/dumb65. That's dumb65 for 65% off plus free shipping. You can't go wrong when you go with HelloFresh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by the one, the only, one of the best damn liquids out there, Celsius. If you need a kickstart to your day, if you need a little get me up before the gym, Celsius is your answer. It's been my answer for quite some time. Shout out the boys and girls over at Celsius. The Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by none other than Celsius itself. All right, here we go. We are back for more. Vibes are high. Energy's high. How could it not be? We got Mikey V in the house. We got Joey D in the house. That is a clean-shaven Joey D that has been introduced through the world via Bob the Sports. We got him in the Brilliantly Dumb Show, showing off that clean-shaven Giuseppe. And here we go, fellas. Can we just clap it up for a little bit here, boys? Just to keep those vibes.
Joey babyface. Joey clean cuts.
We ready to rock and roll here, fellas?
Joey clean cuts.
Joey
Look at that.
Clean cuts coming early and often. Now, I said it on the live that we just did. I don't even know who he is. I had heard the name, but Mikey V sent the side-by-side of Cutsy and Eddie Munster, and I thought it was fucking hysterical. Now, I know the Eddie Munster name, but I couldn't tell you where that's from. And Beardown, you knew that I wasn't going to know that.
Yeah, Bob couldn't tell you Eddie Munson from Eddie Money. He couldn't tell you, but that's fine.
Yeah, well,
he enjoyed it anyway.
On brand for Bob.
When Beardown sends a text saying that, Bob, you're not going to know what this is, I always want to prove you wrong so bad and say that I do.
Fair.
But a lot of times when you've sent that text message, I haven't known who it's going to be.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, and that's fair. I think that's fair.
Beardown, you should have seen this guy the other night. He was so excited because he watched Top Gun. He's like,
the original or the new one?
No, the new one. He hasn't seen the original. Who we kidding here?
Yeah, it's a little too slow.
He's like, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm in the movie scene now. And I'm like, have you watched the original? He's like, no.
Bob always says that things are too slow.
I thought the original. I tried the original. I just thought it was a little too slow. The second one was unbelievable. And you know what? You didn't even need for that new Top Gun. You didn't even need to. You don't even have to see the first one, which was tremendous. And the only reason I sort of watched the movie was because we were on the flight and I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, but the American Airlines has the in-flight movie streaming.
It's better if you've watched the original because Miles Teller is Goose's son. So you get a better in-depth understanding of what's going on and the whole background behind it, Bob.
Yeah, I got kind of emotional when they had the scene where Tom Cruise is looking into the bar and watching Miles Teller play the piano. That got me, man.
You didn't even know what was going on.
Well, no, but you don't have to see the first movie to where you already have an idea of what's going on. I highly recommend the movie.
I highly recommend that you watch the original movie also, Bob. I gotta be totally honest.
You gonna tell me who Eddie Munster is? Or are you just gonna keep busting my balls?
Eddie Munster is
from the Addams Family. He's the
not from the Addams Family. Not from the Addams Family.
Little Munster, I thought, is the little guy from the
that's
Addams Family.
Pugsley. That's Pugsley from the Addams Family. Pugsley and Wednesday are the Addams Family kids. Eddie Munster is from the Munsters. That's the show, the Munsters.
It's a different show. It's
very similar though, Joe. Very similar.
It's black and white, so I thought it was the same one. But yes, you're right. It's different.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I want to put somebody on the hot seat right away. I'm out for blood today. I really do. And
God, here we go.
I love the guy, and he's a staple. He's en route over to the place right now to where maybe even we can get a word from him, and he has no idea that I'm going to do it. And he really is. He's an absolute staple to football Sundays. Okay, and we had an atrocious.
No, not the Jet.
No. Not for the Jet. It is the big ticket. The current producer of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. We had an atrocious prize picks Sunday. Really did. We had an atrocious prize picks. It was off. Now, again, like we said on the live, Mikey V hit such a big parlay with that Thursday night that had covered him for quite some time. You even hit one before that, Mikey B. But the vibes for Football Sunday. Now, Joey Coldcuts was going to be with the girlfriend. And is it ideal to not have Cutsy for the 10 o'clock slot? No. But I will say in Cutsy's defense, he had said it so early that we were mentally able to prepare for not having him Football Sunday.
And on top of that, I said that I was going to be able to come for the afternoon slate of games
Correct.
with my girlfriend, who was willing to come and watch the Bucks Packers game. So I just said for the morning slate, I wouldn't be there.
Right. Which is not ideal. But again, it is something that you had said early. The Big Ticket, who's a staple of the Football Sundays. Okay. Vibes wise, he knows the drill. He keeps vibes high. He's awesome. The night before, I'm in Newport Beach, and I was going to drive back the night of in Newport Beach. I was visiting Big Wave Dave. I was going to drive back, so I was kind of taking it easy. I wasn't really drinking because I knew I had to be ready to go for Football Sunday. The Big Ticket audibled on me Saturday night, which I felt was a late audible, and said that he's going to be going to an Eagles bar to watch the Eagles game.
Well, Eagles country's very excited right now. They're off to a red hot start. Phenomenal. And Jalen Hurts looks everything that he's probably ever expected to be and more. I mean, he looks unbelievable, this guy, and they play defense, and their offensive and defensive line is always good, and they have weapons on offense. Now, I know Goddard got hurt yesterday, but AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and they're a tough team, man, and that division is ripe for the taking. Division's ripe for the taking. Ticket may be in for a really fun year with the Eagles.
And by the way, all the power to him. I'm just saying that
it's definitely a late audible.
That's a late.
You'd have to think the Eagles are the favorites to win that division.
At this point, with Dak out, yeah, they have to be. I think they have to be at this point.
Now, Bob, I'm going to come to Ticket's aid here a little bit, just in the sense of this. Okay, I agree it was late showing, and that's inexcusable. But the fact of the matter is, the young man wanted to watch his birds play, and when we watch the games, at our houses, if it's the early slate of games, you're watching Red Zone. We don't watch the game straight up. So he would not have been able to watch the full game in effect for the Eagles. Now, but he was in the wrong is he should have told you that in advance. The late audible is definitely not excusable, but I see where he's coming. It wasn't like he was bailing in order to go to brunch with a girl or do something. Like, he was watching his team play, which he wouldn't have been able to do so otherwise.
But Joe, my response would be, we do it with you with the Packers all the time, to where the Packers are on. We cater to your game. Yes, we'll toggle back and forth between Red Zone, but you're not missing a whole lot of that Red Zone.
They're real.
I don't mind an earlier audible. I felt it was a very late audible for the Big Ticket. Now, go ahead, Mikey V.
No, I was going to say, this is why the cave could not have been completed without two cable box set televisions. There had to be two televisions with cable boxes, not streaming, because there has to be the focal point game, like Saturday night. Had a bunch of guys over. We're playing cards, but Ohio State's playing. Now, I know these guys are gambling on other games, no problem whatsoever, but Ohio State has to be on the main television, and then the bar TV, whoever else can be on, no problem whatsoever. The two TV setup is, I've never lived it to full effect with two cable boxes. I've done the laptop as a supplement. I've done the device as a supplement. To have two cable box setups,
they bang you really for the extra box.
Yeah, I got to, right?
Yeah, that goes down to the Beardown.
Kind of like how he wrote off that iPhone 14.
Beardown Cuz LLC. I mean, it is what it is.
I want to say something too. I feel like we haven't won in a hot minute, but the boys have not watched Football Sunday for 2 weeks now.
That's why I was.
And I got to tell you, that's got to have some kind of impact. Like yesterday, everybody
Sunday was weird. The digest was off this weekend. If 2021, if 2021 digest took on 2022 digest in a cage fight, it would have been a TKO first round for 2021 digest this week. It's true.
That actually, it's true. You're not wrong. That's why it hurts.
We're very busy. I mean, listen, it's crazy times.
It is, but that doesn't one of my most excuse. It doesn't.
You were busy, Joe. You had the girlfriend. I went to the Fall Fest with the kids and the wife. I mean, I did get back in time for 1 o'clock kickoff, but still, and it's just. But everyone's busy. But I think this weekend we could make some magic happen. We need to. So we need to make it happen.
When the ticket sent that text, So again, I
deflated,
was
deflated, very deflated.
Well, when he sent that text, I wasn't drinking really at all because I knew I had to drive back. I started firing back drinks. So I was like, Joe's not going to be there until the afternoon game. And I was in a bad way. I ended up falling asleep on Big Wave Dave's couch. And I drove back.
Did you get the workout in Sunday?
No. And I was hurting, man. So I texted Joey D and I said, there's no point in even doing it because Ticket was even going to come for the afternoon games, but he was going to be there after the first quarter. If you don't get that original first game start and the first game build up, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. And, from a Prize Picks perspective, we had a very off one. And I agree with Joe in the sense of we're better when it's all together. When the digest is pumping,
I agree.
Everybody's together for the game tonight.
I couldn't miss a pick yesterday, though. I will see that in terms of like actual games spread. That was maybe one of my best days I've ever had on football. I don't know if Nicole was good luck or what was going on, but I couldn't miss a game. I couldn't miss.
The only part you went
the Packers looked phenomenal. Packers look great.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they look great. I would say that the defense played well, and I would say that their first couple drives they looked like a machine. And then Tampa played well. It was very, I don't know.
The offense did sputter in the second half.
Yeah.
The thing I have against Matt LaFleur is this guy is normally incapable of adjusting mid-game. So Tampa Bay made an adjustment at halftime with the defensive scheme, and the Packers just couldn't figure it out second half. But what I'm saying is nice to see Green Bay find other ways to win when they never used to. Their defense is good.
So the only spot that you went wrong with Sunday was the 2 prize picks that I gave you.
That was the only loss I experienced.
I threw an absolute couple duds his way. Like, the prize picks.
I mean, we weren't even close.
No, it was total duds. And I was.
I picked Jamar Chase. That was my pick. The over on Jamar Chase yards. I thought the yardage total was too low. Sauce Gardner from the Jets. I mean, you want to talk about a bright spot,
Sauce Gardner,
a bright spot on an organization that needs a lot of bright spots. That is a foundational piece for that organization because that kid is legit, bro.
I'm so done with. I tell you, every time they turn to that game and you just see Flacco in the pads and by the way,
Bob, they're 1-2. They're one game under 500.
Oh, Joe, they stink. They ain't going.
Zach Wilson comes back this week. You'll find out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I'll tell you what. People think that the picking prize picks is easy. It's not an easy thing at all.
If it was easy, everybody would retire. And nobody.
Well, but you know what? You can't let it bother you. But what does suck? Like I even had people yesterday saying you guys have been terrible. I joined you guys last week or whatever. You got to be there for the whole way. And I love the line that you say, Mikey V. If you don't want us in October, don't ask for us in December. What was
we're not even in October. I said, if you can't handle us in September, you don't deserve us in December. And that's the bottom line. Like over the course of the season last year, we hit stretches where we lost 3, 4, 5 plays in a row. But then we went on stretches where we hit, 3-teamers, a 4-teamer, a 3-teamer, 2 out of 3, where we won 4 in a row. If you're betting smart and not betting above your means, don't bet above your means. We don't advocate for that. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'll even throw that plug in there. We don't advocate for that. If you're betting smart along the course of the way, Bob, you're going to end up a winner. You're going to end up a winner.
The bottom line
parlay from 2 Thursdays ago. I mean, there were people literally. I had to get, I'm not exaggerating, 150 DMs the next day on that parlay. And I'm talking about people who won now because it was a 10-timer. So even if you put only $50 on that, you won 500. Okay. But I had people DMing me, they won 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. If you won all that money, shame on you if you dump the whole lot.
I mean, even if you win $1,000 and the next 4 games, you bet 100 each game, you're still up $600. Right. So it's like, but bottom line is you don't get a seat at the round table. The Knights didn't get a seat at the round table without putting in a couple battles first. You got to go on the battlefield. You got to experience what it takes to fight a little bit, and then you get your just rewards. But I don't want anybody coming up and just getting what water is
this
that?
What just took place? Heavy. What did you have dirt in that water? What? Why do you not? You have access to Poland Spring water.
So I got the Poland Spring, but
maybe that's the reason we're losing these games because Mikey V's over there drinking the sun.
The water. No, it's a Kirkland Costco.
We gotta be better,
brand.
Mikey V. We
listen. Absolutely.
And besides, you're hitting the 5-teamers. You could afford a little Poland.
It's not about when you're.
It's a write-off.
Sometimes
it's a cave write-off.
Guys getting iPhone 14s and second cable box.
Cuts. I was 2 generations
nice
behind.
Bottle of water.
I was 2 generations behind.
Now, have you tried the unsend? Bob, have you heard this? The iPhone 14?
Yes, I have.
You can unsend a message 15 minutes.
Oh, you could probably use that. You should. Shit, I would buy the iPhone 4.
We've all been in a. By the way, you want to talk about a guy who could have used that a couple of weeks ago when Mikey V messaged Prize. Maybe that's why we've been losing so much. Bob, you're going to tell the story there, Bob.
Love to go there.
Let's just give the context what happened there because that might be the love of the world to Prize.
Do you want to tell the story, Mikey V? Actually, fuck it. I'll take the story.
Since then, we haven't won the game. Prize put the clamp down on us, Bob.
Mikey V hits a monster Prize Picks. I mean,
that was a Thursday night.
Me
5 for 5.
I hit 10 grand.
I made 3.
High. Everybody's excited. We're having a ball. Now we have a separate group with our good friends at Prize Picks. By the way, promo code The Boys if you want to get joined. We have a separate group chat with Prize Picks.
We love them.
So we're firing into our group chat. Everybody's excited. And Mikey V doesn't make these mistakes often. He is extremely detail oriented. Yeah, Mikey V sends a text message to the Prize Picks group chat that goes,
one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
I bet you Prize Picks is getting absolutely fucked tonight.
No. He sent a DM screenshot. This guy who said 5 out of 5. And he goes, Prize Picks absolutely got banged tonight with banged in capital letters.
Yeah.
He said they had to pay out close to $100K. And then Perez tries to save it. Perez puts depositors underneath.
No, but didn't Mikey V says that they got banged tonight. And I looked at that, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, does he know he just said that? But Perez had a response in the group chat. He's like, banged in a good way or something like that. He said something about
they had to pay out $100,000 and Perez put depositors. Like he was trying to make it seem like and to Perez's case, he was trying to salvage a situation.
The blame's on Mikey V.
That's when the iPhone 14 he should have just unsent that message because he started trying to bury it with a bunch of messages.
I think Cutsy sent to the group chat. He's like, all right, boys, looks like we're going to DraftKings. If anybody has a DraftKings. And Mikey V does not make those type of errors. That is not.
That was a misstep.
That's
he was excited. I mean,
I was very excited. And listen, not for nothing, but I mean, Prize Picks, I'm sure cleans house every week. So for them, I'm sure
they have since that moment. I tell you what, we need to see a dub since that moment happened.
You're not wrong.
Tonight we reclaim the slate.
I'll be honest, Mikey V, he fucks up so seldomly, and he's always the one calling me out for me fucking up. And I always look that when he does fuck up, it's awesome. Like as much as that text message sucked, I loved it. Because I just pounced on him. It was tremendous.
And Bob, the funny thing is the guy's got more responsibilities than you and I combined.
That's correct.
He's got 2 kids, a wife, he's got, full-time job. And meanwhile, he's more dialed in half the time than we ever are.
That is correct.
So it was just such an anomaly to see that. I was like, I was on the phone and then I think Bob just messaged me like, hey, you seen what's going on right now?
Do you believe what he just did? That was, and again, our good friends over at Prize Picks, but they took it well. And I don't think Perez's follow-up text helped at all, but a very, very rare miscue from Mikey V. And I'm shocked that we forgot about that because
now he's got the iPhone 14, so that shouldn't ever happen again.
Yes, shit. Okay, I do want to get into the buy or sell segment. Something that I do want to say that was fucking awesome. And shout out QB1. I mean, Josh Allen wearing our Have a Day hat and it being on Red Zone for everybody to see. He wore it in an interview, I think with like a local, maybe Buffalo. I don't even know who it is, but he talked about Red Zone. That's why Red Zone played it. that was pretty fucking special. I mean, then I'm kind of thinking to myself, holy shit, everybody's watching Red Zone. People were hitting me up left and right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, that was pretty fucking cool.
Very cool.
All right, fellas. Well, I do want to go into our buy and sell segment. Mikey V, do you want to start us off here this week?
Sure. I'm going to sell something that got sold officially today, and it's the end of an era. And goodbye, RIP to the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is no more.
It's gone?
It's gone. It's officially now
Right
a
thing to
flag
do.
football game and skills competition. And it is the right thing to do, because you want to talk about a game that was just deteriorating in quality every single year. I mean, I am going to miss betting first quarter overs at the Pro Bowl. That's for sure, because there is no defense to be had in the Pro Bowl. I thought it was the easiest bet of the year every year. So that I'm going to miss big time, but this was a necessary move. These guys are playing patty cake out there. It's stupid. It's dumb. Nobody wants to play in it. Now, at least with the skill stuff. And I think Omaha Productions, Peyton Manning and his brother, Eli, are going to be like in charge of like creative control of all the stuff. And it's probably going to be hysterical. It'll be very entertaining if those two are in charge of that. I trust Peyton. I think he's very good at what he does. So yeah, I'm going to sell the Pro Bowl as it's been sold now. And that's the end of an era. The end of an era.
Crazy.
Yeah, you know what's pretty nice though, and I think it's the right sell. I mean, that game, they're still going to be doing like a skills competition throughout the week, which those are pretty cool. But I mean, the game was it was such a lousy game. I mean, it really was. But the last memory that I'm going to have from the Pro Bowl was Mikey V. Me and Mikey V going at it because Mikey V wanted me to bet an over first quarter over on the Pro Bowl,
and fucking lock.
I wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, I wanted nothing to do with it. And I was like, fuck it. All right, this is ridiculous. I can't believe we're doing it. You guys are a bunch of degenerates. I can't believe this. That thing must have hit 3 minutes into the game. There was like a pick six.
And then there was unreal. We were at Factors, Bob, remember?
Yes, we were at Factors.
And we left outside of Factors right after, and we hit with time to spare.
Talk about a place that lost their fastball. I mean, I don't like really calling anybody. Factors has been absolutely.
That was your staple.
Yeah, their hours are terrible. Me and Joe can't even go there for football Sunday. They start too late. Nobody knows when the hours are.
9 o'clock, I think they open now.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And kickoffs at 10. You can't do that.
They were inconsistent.
You're gonna rush through the whole meal.
Yeah, the home fries. I didn't know if I should get them well done because sometimes they already do them well done. Sometimes they were a little all over the place. I mean, look, the food's still good, but those hours are pretty brutal. Joey D, we will head over to you for the buy or sell.
I'm going to sell something, and I'm probably going to take a lot of flack for it, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm selling the President's Cup PGA tournament, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't watch a second of it. And I know there's camaraderie, rooting for Team USA versus the world. Who the hell cares? I mean, they had this thing, people were messaging me saying, are you watching the President's Cup? It was football Sunday. Like, I'm sorry. I love golf more than anybody. I love watching events. This event it's like a Mickey Mouse event. They're wearing terrible uniforms. I don't know. For me, Bob, I know people are going to go nuts about this. I didn't watch a single solitary second of the President's Cup of Team USA versus Team World. And I guess the next year will be Ryder Cup. I watched the Ryder Cup last year. I thought it was very well done. And you went, which maybe is one of the reasons I watched it. But this President's Cup this year, Bob, it was just not. I didn't watch it. Did you watch any of it?
No, I didn't. I think the Ryder Cup is so much better. But
I just felt like it was just an excuse for them to hold on to the golf season. And I'm like, I feel like everyone's checked out. Like the last major's done. It's all finished. Like, just wrap up. I don't know. I feel like it was, I know people are going to come at me for this, but I don't care. I didn't watch a second of it. I wasn't dialed into it. I could have cared less. I mean, congrats Team USA, but it wasn't even a good match. Like because of all the live guys who were gone, it's like they just threw a bunch of guys together who normally probably wouldn't have even been on the world team. And I just thought it was very Mickey Mouse.
They got so that is definitely true. The live guys not being in it. I mean, like the USA ended up
best players they were missing.
They ended up being minus 700 favorites. So even if they win, it's like, is it really that big of an accomplishment? Because you don't have like the Cam Smiths of the world coming in.
Oh, yeah. You're missing tons of great players. I don't know. Mito Pereira, a lot of these guys from the live, Joaquin Neiman there are all these good players who should have been there, but because they went to live, I just felt like they just tried to put it together, and it was just not what it could have been. I don't know.
You have all those guys missing, and then on top of that, the timing. I mean, now anything with the football Sunday. I mean, I watched the Yankees Sunday Night Baseball, but even that, I felt like I was the only one watching it, to where even baseball kind of loses its whatever steam that it had going because of
everything. The NFL has owned a day of the week, along with the church, has owned the day of the week for the last however many years. It's NFL Sunday, and they own a day of the week, literally own it. They're the only sport that owns a day of the week. Nothing else. I mean, it's really, really, and I think it's getting crazy. I think honestly, it's getting more and more so that they own a day of the week. Like you would think they would, peak out. And I think maybe a couple years ago, they were kind of seeing some dips. And now I just feel like it's back in like a runaway freight train. They own the day. There's nothing else. And Bob, to your point, Yankees, but they on Sunday, like everything else just takes a backseat. Everything else takes a backseat. That's just
I feel like, could you imagine going to a baseball game on a Sunday?
No, not during the season.
Like you got
a playoff Yankee game. Yes,
fair enough. Other than a regular season game when they've already clinched the playoff spot.
No.
I mean, who in their right mind is going to that game?
No.
Our dear friend Bo Hostler asked me to go to a Dodger game Sunday. It was one of the quicker no's. It was one of the quicker no's I've ever given out. And I let him know why. I was like, Bo, you got to be better than that, man. Like that, it just
he's a diehard Dodgers guy.
It don't matter. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I ain't going to a regular season Yankee game on a Sunday. Again, playoffs differently. And by the way, that trip needs to get booked in. The playoff
the
Yankees,
New York trip,
we got to get them before they're knocked out. We have
the Audi Club has got to reassemble. I feel like it's
the
Avengers need
to
come back.
Boys are getting a little hot in New York. Don't look now, but the boys in the Bronx are a little hot right now. Getting a lot of the artillery back. A lot of the artillery's coming.
Well, Lord knows it went awry.
Always,
for
every year.
Every year. They got it back up and going. We'll still get knocked out by Houston, but they did get it back up and going. They're 100% going to get knocked out by them. Let's call it.
They're going to have to. The only way the Yankees survive a couple series in this postseason is one man only that has to put his balls on the table, show you're worth the money that you got paid, sack up, and no more excuses. I don't want to hear about 3 earned runs as a quality start. I want a 1 run or no run, 7-8 inning start out of Garrett Cole in the playoffs. That's what I want. He's supposed to be an ace. He got paid like an ace. He acts like he's an ace. Go and be an ace when it matters the most. Go and do it. Because up until this point, especially against Boston in Boston, he has not proven that he is that guy in the playoffs. I want to see it. I want to see the shutdown ace performance that I think we as Yankee fans, quite frankly, all deserve.
I think so too. I want it really bad, but I'm just gearing myself up for being knocked out. So I'm really trying.
Bob, you got to be somewhat optimistic. You can't always be, the pessimist going into things. I mean, because it's just, and then what are you watching for if you're going in thinking they're going to lose anyways?
It's realistic though.
I think it's realistic expectations. I really do. It's a realistic. I don't want to look at the glass, half empty with it, but there's just no way that they get by the Astros. There's a way, but
there's a way. There's a way. I wouldn't say there's no way. They have plenty of talent themselves, but things have to go very right. Like if the Yankees are going to win the way the Yankees want to win, that means everybody in the lineup has to be hitting. If their lineup goes cold, their pitchers are
one game against Verlander, is going to be a fucking bloodbath.
You know what? Fuck that. Let Garrett Cole face off against Verlander and fucking beat him. That's what the problem is, Joe. To your point originally, that's the problem. Cole should be out. It should be that way. That should be the discussion about Cole. People should say that about him.
I think Verlander. People don't realize how good he is. I think people
he's awesome.
Talk about Scherzer and DeGrom and these guys.
Scherzer and DeGrom are dogs too.
That's another thing that I'm thinking. I shouldn't even be thinking that far in advance. If you get by Houston to go against either the Dodgers. Or if you had to go against the Mets, where
Dodgers
you have Scherzer,
look fucking amazing, man.
And if you have Scherzer and DeGrom.
Yeah, but Bob, how great would you be? You'd be so thrilled just to be there.
A Subway Series would be special, though, Bob, wouldn't it?
A
Subway Series would be real special.
Yeah, I would.
A Subway Series game. Subway Series game 3 at Billy's.
That would be
game at Billy's.
Woo. Yeah, I think multiple game playoff games. I think we're definitely doing an Audi Club Yankee playoff game for sure. Even the Audi Club group chat needs some life to it, to where I got to start hand selecting. You pick the group chats that you need. You saying that thing about the Gamblers Digest group chat from 2021, 2022, that hurts. That stings.
Well, I tell you what'll inject some life into it really quick. We said we were going to bring Ticket in. If you bring Ticket in to the Gamblers Digest, I think he will be firing.
Well, first
like nobody's business.
First, he's got to discuss what his mishap last weekend. First, he needs to discuss that before anything. And then, yes, we can have that conversation.
Now, what does he need to do to make amends?
I would like the ownership. I would like ownership out of it. I really would. I mean, look.
Well, like an Instagram apology?
No, that's Mikey V's route. Mikey V likes that route a bit much. By the way,
Mikey V, some might say that the Bears listen to your rant come mid-game because
the best.
This guy was terrible. I had to turn. I was with Nicole. I was like, this guy's tearing them up.
I tell you what, nothing does numbers like the Bears rants.
I went in, there was like 900 people,
and that's so sad because it's not like I don't really enjoy doing that, and actually, like, it hurts because it takes so much out of me to do those. But Sunday's performance by Justin Fields, and I talked to Jerry Don during the game.
Better, bro.
I was talking to Jerry during the game. He called me and he was like, "Am I seeing the correct stat line?" Because he wasn't watching, and I said, "Yeah, Jerry, that's the right stat line." I said, "He looks god awful." I said, He looks like he never threw a football before in his life. He looks scared. He looks like he's holding on to the ball too long. He's forcing throws. He looked horrible.
Yeah,
there's no way around it.
Is Montgomery going to be okay?
Nah, he's going to be probably out for a week or so. Herbert looks so good. I don't think they're going to rush him back. I mean, Herbert looks better than he does.
Ticket.
He looks incredible.
If the big ticket's listening now, if we could throw in that clip of Mikey V live during the Bears game.
Fix it. I'm not going to stroke out cuz I don't get strokes. I give them. I don't get strokes. I give them.
To these no-playing asses. Coach, you're going to have a stroke. I don't get strokes, motherfucker. I give them.
Oh, no. There's honestly the two things I love the most in football season: when the Steelers are losing and you see Jersey Jerry just went live, and when the Bears are losing and when you see Mikey V, when you see Beardown Cuz just went live. Two of the more special things that NFL season has.
Mikey V's Bears are 2-1.
Somebody told me I was going to have a stroke on the live.
Oh yeah, he
sent me off the deep end.
I don't stroke, cuz I send the stroke.
No, I said I don't get strokes. I give them.
Yeah, I give.
He got pretty close to it. He really did. And if we could fire up that clip, boys, we got a big old game tonight. Football's back. Football's been back. The boys are back. And again, prize pick, promo code, the boys. Folks, we need to interrupt the Real and the Dumb show to let you know about the one, the only, the AG1 coming out of the boys and girls from Athletic Greens. You talk about something that I'm taking every goddamn day. You're talking about AG1 from Athletic Greens. Pop AG1 into a strawberry banana smoothie every morning the way that Bob does, and then you could go ahead and thank me later. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and more. Start the day right. It gives me a little bit of a pep to my step, keeps me healthy, keeps me clean, and most importantly for me, supports gut health. With the way that I eat, Lord knows that I need it. AG1 as well is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. Your subscription with Athletic Greens comes with a year's supply of vitamin D, which is so important to add in these winter months or even southern months where we get some sunlight and we don't get as much sunlight. Regardless of when you're taking it, rain, shine, or snow, Athletic Greens is a no-brainer. Now, to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/dumb. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/dumb to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. You heard it here first. Pop their AG1 into a strawberry banana smoothie 5-6 days a week. You can thank me later. Okay, fellas, let's get into our top 5. Let's start with Joey D. Joey D, this week we are going to be doing top 5 comedians of all time. Across the board, we got approval on that top 5. Cutsy, we'll send it to you. Top 5 comedians of all time.
All right. I'm going to start off at number 5. This is a guy that we all know very well in the last, I'd say 5 to 10 years. He's really dominated the scene. Give me Sebastian Maniscalco at 5. I just think the guy is hysterical. I really relate to him being an Italian, ethnic, individual growing up. My parents, my dad, I can relate to a lot of the things that he says. So his comedic humor to me is just spot on, hysterical. Give me Maniscalco at 5. Moving up, we're going to go at number 4. Give me Jerry Seinfeld. I've seen Jerry Seinfeld live twice. I know Jet thinks he's lost his fastball. I was going to say, Jet's I don't give a fuck. I disagreed with Jet when he said it, and I'll disagree again. He is hysterical. Both times I watched him live. I thought he was brilliant. He's really good. He's great with the crowd. And he's an original guy. I mean, he's known. When you think of stand-up, Jerry Seinfeld has to come to your mind. Maybe not the top guy, but definitely think is worthy of a number 4 spot. Number 3, moving up, give me Dave Chappelle. Okay. Dave Chappelle, I think, can say and do things in a stand-up situation that nobody else even attempts to do. When he goes after that, when he went after, that whole community, and I'm not even going to bring that up because I'm worried about us getting canceled. I was standing there listening. I was like, how is this guy got the balls to go here? He doesn't give a fuck, bro. He's so funny. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't care. And he delivers it time and time again. So freaking funny. I think he's just one of the greatest of all time. Chappelle at 3. Number 2, rest in peace. Give me Robin Williams. Robin Williams is an absolute legend. His skit just on the golf, if you've never listened or watched his skit on how they invented the game of golf, it's absolutely brilliant. So he's so animated. He's so funny. He can do the voices. He can do the whole 9 yards. He just gets into character so well. And his stage presence, I think, is probably second to none. One of the greatest to ever do it. And God bless him. He was just an incredible actor as well. Rest in peace. But number 2, give me Robin Williams. And then number 1, another guy, rest in peace. Give me George Carlin at number 1. I think this guy is an OG of the comedic stance. He is so fucking funny. He said, again, one of the guys who just didn't give a shit if people liked him or didn't like him. He said it. He would trash the idiots of America. He went after religion. He went after all these different things. And he was just so candid. It was like you couldn't help but not laugh. Would swear, would go off the deep end. Just hysterical. George Carlin at 1. And I feel pretty good about that one.
Mikey V, we will send it over to you.
Number 5, give me Robin Williams at number 5. Robin Williams, I think, is one of the funniest, most intelligent. I think he was just so smart. His comedy was so witty and so smart and so deep that it was like almost, it was actually amazing how effortless it seemed for him to be funny. It was just effortless, and it was just incredible. Not to mention him as an actor. I think he's a phenomenal actor on top of it. But Robin Williams at 5. At 4, give me Dave Chappelle. I think Dave Chappelle has solidified himself as one of the greatest stand-ups of all time. The Chappelle Show, you want to talk about laugh out loud funny. The Chappelle Show was the talk of high school lunch table every single week in my high school. That was the topic of conversation, was what happened on the Chappelle show. That was all anybody wanted to talk about. That's how impactful that was. Number 3, someone we haven't heard yet. One of my favorites of all time, and maybe even I could have justified him being higher. Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield to me is just, his one-liners are just his cadence.
He's like slapstick though.
No, I don't think so. His delivery, no, because he was in plenty of movies and stuff where he cursed a lot. I mean, his delivery to me was like, just, I love Rodney Dangerfield. Huge Rodney guy. Number 2, give me Richard Pryor. Number 2, Richard Pryor. Joey was talking about OG stand-ups. Richard Pryor, I mean, if you ever watch some of his specials, he will make you tear up, crying, laughing. And then number 1, I'm with Cutsy on number 1, George Carlin. To me, in terms of comedians, when I think stand-up, I think the first person that pops in my mind is George Carlin. So George Carlin will be my number 1 as well.
Good stuff, gentlemen. Good stuff. I got no issue there. Number 5, I'm going with Sebastian as well. I think Sebastian, he's made it really hard for any other Italian comic coming into the game. It's like he's dominated that field so well that it's really hard for like the people who do like a lot of Italian stuff to top that. I got Sebastian at 5. 4, who we didn't say, my dad used to show me clips of him all the time before my time, but boy, did I love his stuff. Don Rickles.
Oh, Don Rickles is tremendous. Came this close to making my list. Tremendous. Oh
man, my dad would always show me clips of him. Love Don Rickles. 3, give me Robin Williams. I think he's tremendous. Rest in peace. Number 2, again, Jet hates him. I do see a lot of the stuff that Jet mentioned, a lot of the losing the fastball segment with the Jet, a lot of the stuff it makes you think about. And like I do say, but from a stand-up perspective, the guy's unbelievable. Give me Jerry Seinfeld at 2. And then I actually got Dave Chappelle at 1. Especially my time growing up, Dave Chappelle, it's an absolute no-brainer. And Joe said it too. He could do and say things that nobody else can do or say, and it's amazing, and he totally owns it, and is really just tremendous. All right, and now let's go honorable mention.
I have 2 that I'm going to throw in there because I couldn't decide on one. The first being Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie Murphy back in the 80s, maybe before a lot of time, like Bob, this would have been before
Eddie Murphy raw.
Oh, he was unbelievable with the red leather jacket going up. He was just dominant. Yeah. And then a Canadian, and I think he's kind of fallen off the map a little bit, but I think he used to be brilliant. Russell Peters, with his Indian background, the story that he gave, somebody gonna get hurt real bad. I mean, he was hysterical. He's the other guy on my honorable mention. Those are 2 guys I think are just great.
Do you know who Russell Peters is, Beardown?
No, I don't.
Have you never listened to Russell Peters? Look up Beardown. I promise you, look up somebody gonna get hurt real bad. The skit. It is one of the funniest comedic things you'll ever hear. And he's brilliant, dude. He's so good, but he's kind of tapered off the last couple of years.
Mikey V.
My honorable mention has to be a guy I've seen 3 times live. He's been around since the 80s. This is a homer pick for me. One of my favorites growing up, hysterical, controversial. Andrew Dice Clay, to me, is one of the funnier guys. I understand that like it's the nursery rhyme stuff, but I've been to his shows where they were good and bad. The good ones when he had like new material and stuff that you hadn't heard before. I still think he's very funny. Andrew Dice Clay is like my personal
what's pretty sick. I kind of just remember him from Entourage. He made an appearance on Entourage. I don't really remember the stand-up. I know, didn't he sell out the Garden?
Maybe
the first comedian to do it.
First stand-up comedian ever to sell out the Garden.
That's a hell of a feat, by the way. If I ever played,
he was as hot as anybody in the early 90s. As hot as anybody. So I mean, that's my guy.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go Chris Rock. I mean, I've always loved.
He had good specials.
Yeah, I've always loved Chris Rock. Real shame. I don't think it's going to by any means it'll be a stain on his career. But the whole Will Smith thing, I feel like for a while people are going to hear the name And a lot of them will think it. And it's such a shame to him. I mean, Will Smith, I love the guy, I really do, but he kind of deserves it. It was his fault. Chris Rock, I mean, he had nothing to do with that. And some people will think about that when they think of, especially younger people, younger than me will think about that.
Did you watch The Apology? The
It was
former Will
pathetic.
Smith apology.
It was pathetic.
So
was that a recent movie?
No, it was Will Smith's response.
No, his apology to Chris Rock.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
It was bad. It was bad.
I've always pulled for him. I've told the story that people have heard probably on the show before, that I'll always vouch and love Will Smith. But man, when he did that, and then I saw that apology, it was it's like he was reading off of a teleprompter.
It was just the setup, like in his living room, like he's being filmed. Like it just seemed so scripted. Like you said, it seems so scripted, and I think it was scripted. I think he did like write out most of what, and maybe good on him. I guess he had a lot he wanted to say, and he wanted to cover every base and leave no stone unturned. But at the same time, it just came off as so scripted and outrageous. Yeah, it was just.
Yeah. Now Jade, I've never been a huge fan of. I've never been. Will,
take her or leave her.
There you go. All right, boys. Big night tonight. Let's hit tonight. That's been another edition. The Brilliantly Dumb Show. Please like, comment, subscribe to get the fellas every single week, every single Tuesday. Joey Cold Cuts, Mikey Beardown, cuz we will see you next time on The Brilliantly Dumb Show.